Since Akbar's time, the harem of Mughals was full of Mughal princesses, as Akbar stopped the tradition of marrying his princesses. There was a reason for this extremely inhuman tradition. Akbar had 7 sisters: Bakshi Bano Begum, Akika Sultana Begum, Amina Bano Begum, Bhaktunisa Begum, Sakina Bano Begum, Jahan Sultana Begum, and Fakr Unisa Begum. The husbands of these 7 Begums were called Mirza, and these 7 Mirzas considered themselves equal to Akbar. They not only dealt arrogantly with Akbar but also rebelled against him to establish their reign by overthrowing Akbar's reign. Akbar was neither able to kill nor imprison his brothers-in-law, as his sisters were married to them. In the end, the rebellion was not over until Akbar killed his rebel brothers-in-law. For this reason, Akbar made a rule that in future, Mughal princesses will not be married to anyone. Following this rule, Akbar did not get his 4 daughters, Aram Bano Begum, Khanam Sultan Begum, Shakar Unisa Begum, and Mehrunisa Begum married to anyone. Akbar's son Jahangir also did not get his 3 princesses, Majyar Behruz, Bahar Bano Begum, and Nithar Begum married to anyone, yet Jahangir's son Shah Jahan had to deal with the husband of his stepsister Ladli Begum before his ascension. The story of Ladli Begum goes like this. Jahangir married his beloved Nur Jahan by killing her husband Sher Afghan. Nur Jahan had a daughter from Sher Afghan called Ladli Begum. When Nur Jahan was escorted from Bengal to Agra, Ladli Begum also accompanied her to Jahangir's harem, where she was brought up like a princess. When Ladli Begum stepped into adolescence, Nur Jahan married Ladli Begum to her husband Jahangir's son Shahryar, who was born from his another Begum. When Jahangir fell ill, Shah Jahan, who was known as Khurram in those days, could only become king by killing Shahryar. However, Shahryar had to die at the hands of Khurram because he was also Khurram's half-brother, and Shah Jahan knew that he was not going to get the Mughal throne without killing his 18 uncles and brothers. Therefore, Shah Jahan strictly enforced the rules made by his grandfather Akbar to not to marry the princesses and did not get any of his 4 princesses married. By following this rule, the emperor was relieved of the possibility of any rebellious activity from his sons-in-law or brothers-in-law, but a new problem had arisen. So now, the princesses used to live as a part of the emperor's harem throughout their lives, and now they were participating openly in the war of succession for the future emperor. Shah Jahan's harem was also infected with this dangerous problem. All 4 of his princesses were now young, and they also, along with their brothers, had started participating in the blood-shedding game of Mughal politics. The 4 princesses took hold of 1 brother each: Jahanara with Dara Shikoh, Roshanara with Aurangzeb, Gohar-Ara with Murad, and Purhunara Begum with Shah Shuja, started laying pieces of conspiracy on the political chess to make their respective brothers the king. The 4 princesses dreamt the brother of their choice to be seated on Takht-e-Taus and become the rightful owner of Kohinoor and the Red Fort of Delhi. Thus, due to the policy formulated by Akbar, Mughals were liberated from the problems of brothers-in-law and sons-in-law, but now they were surrounded by the conspiracies of their own sisters and daughters. Shah Jahan's other three princesses, Purhunar Begum, Roshanara Begum, and Gohara Begum, considered it as an insult that their elder brother Dara Shikoh and elder sister Jahanara had imprisoned the emperor, and the way the three younger brothers were sent away from the capital. In the same way, all the Begums of Shah Jahan and the three younger princesses were also distanced from the emperor. Purhunar Begum, Roshanara Begum, and Gohara Begum tried very hard to enter their father's chamber once by any pretext and see whether the king was still ill or he was kept captive by the infidels. Shah Jahan's younger princesses always mentioned Dara and Jahanara as infidels, which means kafir. When the princesses failed to achieve their goal, they wrote to the prince of their side, exaggerating the condition of the emperor's disease. All the three princesses did not forget to write in their letters that infidels Dara and Jahanara had imprisoned king, and no one was allowed to visit the emperor's chamber except the Hakim, that is, doctor. The doctor is also kept under strict surveillance within the harem and is not allowed to talk to anyone. Shah Jahan's all four princesses lived inside the Red Fort, but Purhunar Begum, Roshanara Begum, and Gohara Begum rarely got to see their father's face after they were adolescent. The king could not bear to see them. Only Jahanara Begum was the favorite daughter of Shah Jahan, and only she used to go to the king's chamber. Therefore, the three younger princesses had spread rumors about her that she is not king's daughter but his mistress. People of Delhi also used to say a lot of things about Jahanara. The restlessness of the three younger princesses sitting thousands of kilometers away from the capital began to increase day by day after reading the letters received from their sisters. They were convinced that the king was seriously ill and that Jahanara and Dara Shikoh had imprisoned him, but at the same time, each of them suspected that the king might have died and that Dara Shikoh and Jahanara are planning to occupy the throne within by quietly disposing of his body. The lust of preempting the Red Fort was not allowing the prince to work with patience and fortitude. Anyways, the question of succession in Mughal reign was solved only by the blood of the prince. Generation to generation, Mughal princes used to kill each other to get their father's throne and wealth. Shah Jahan's four princes could not assure themselves of the reality of the Red Fort. Still, the Changezi and Temuri blood was thrusting in their veins to depart towards Delhi and capture the throne, as this blood could not understand any other language than bloodshed. Look in the sequel, Shah Jahan shifted himself to Agra.